What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is the afternoon of the 25th of September, Wednesday afternoon. We're going to take a look at Aerodrome Finance this afternoon. Aerodrome ticker symbol AERO USD. Aerodrome / United States dollar. This is a daily chart. This will be the Coinbase chart. Coinbase should be accessible to just about everybody, if not everybody, who views these videos. So if you want to buy Aerodrome, Coinbase is an option. Of course, not financial advice. Well, we have Aerodrome up 4.2% this afternoon. We have Bitcoin down 1%. We have Aerodrome hanging out all day at the 98,224 level. Let's drop over to a 3-minute time frame. Up on the upper left here, at least on my trading view chart, we have that. So here is the 98,224 level coming into play all day. It started off earlier. We rallied up to 98,224 real quick. These levels above the market act as a level of resistance. Think of a ceiling of resistance for a period of time. Then they can be flipped into a floor of support. Think of a floor. You stand on the floor, it supports you, hopefully. Resistance. We got pushed back down. That's what happens. If you jumped into a ceiling, you would hit your head and fall back down. That's the same thing this is doing here. And here we are going above the ceiling of resistance, which is the way it can work. But then it got pushed back below. Right now, real time, 5:47 on the East Coast. Aerodrome Finance is trading right at our ceiling of resistance of 98,224. Here it is. It's trying to break above it. And the ceiling is stronger. It's holding the price down. But understand that price can break above the ceiling of resistance of 98,224. And it can turn it into a level of support and then just continue on to the upside. It can continue on to the upside. So, take it for what it is. It can be it's basically just a area of reference. So it's an idea of where price is most likely to go. And that's how they work. So if price started to pull back here, we would look for support. Since it's below the market at 92,337. 92,337 is below the market. We'll see how we close here. The close, I am not sure if it's 7 or 9 p.m. on the East Coast, so you have a couple hours here. And we have about an hour or two. Anyways, or an hour or 3, I should say. Above the market is 104,829. So if we close above this evening, if we close above the 98,224, the possibility of continuing higher is greater than rolling over and trading back below 98,224 and heading down to 92,337. If the opposite plays out, or we close below 98,224, the likelihood of us heading down to 92,337 is higher than us heading up to 104,829. So you can think of it like that. And we are basically pinned. We are basically pinned at the price of the 98. But again, 104,829, 92,337. The price is just about in the center of those levels there. So that is that. Besides that, we have Bitcoin being pretty lame today. Really, it's struggling to get above the 3 levels we've been speaking about, which is basically from 64,375 all the way down to 63,788. We have 3 levels here. You can see it's struggling to get above these levels. It struggled back in here, which was in August, the end of August and finally back up there in September. The end. 68,748 is above the market. That's what we want to see. We want to see a solid close, breakout above these levels, and taking us up to where we found resistance here in July, the end of July, and that's 68,748. And if that happens, there's a really good chance we'll be seeing Aerodrome well above $1. That's an 8% move plus for Bitcoin. Yeah, patience. You know, we had the Bitcoin micro futures, which is the contracts that I personally trade, and they were down quite a bit today. So you can see Bitcoin is down as well, but the futures were down over 1,000. The actual Bitcoin here is only 700. Anyways, that's that, guys. Things are looking good here. Let's see what we're up. From the breakout here, which would be from this resistance line. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. And we've been covering Aerodrome for a while, and we're finally seeing so far a pretty decent rally here. We have this overhead resistance line here. I give it quite a bit of credit because it's coming to play here that the price is respecting it. So I don't trade off trend lines, okay? But I saw something developing here, so I figured, hey, let's put it on there, and price was respecting it. Give me 1 second here. So price is respecting it, so that's why we have it on the screen here. And you could see, and a little sloppy here. You could see that when the price broke out here, we were talking about it. We had an attempted breakout on the 12th, and then the confirmation on the 13th. And this thing has been taken off like a rocket ever since, with a lot of green days, only 3 red days. Today I think it's 13 days here. So the breakout was basically like 61.2, and the price would currently be up from that area right about 60%. This morning, the morning video, we were up 58, I believe it was, and so a couple more percent here since this morning. Yeah, so we'll see how we close. The price has found resistance here, basically right at this level, right over here. We actually had a close above that level on the 18th of July, and then which is correlated perfectly with the overhead resistance line, which obviously won the battle and kept the price below it. So there's definitely some resistance here. And that is that. I mean, we have a higher high today. We have a higher low. That's bullish. We have a, yeah, let's see how we close. Things can collapse quickly in crypto. So between now and the close of today, we could, close bearish. I don't see that happening, but it's possible. And that would definitely change the outlook, especially if we close below yesterday's close. Close below yesterday's close. That would be quite bearish, and that would probably take us close, if under 92,337. But that's just, we're just, talking there, because right now we're doing quite the opposite. We're rallying. That's that, guys. I mean, that's pretty much all I got here for this afternoon. Looking good, Surprised to see us holding up so well. Is this thing overbought? Maybe. You can look at the RSI. I have not looked at it. I don't use RSI. I use these price levels on the chart. And right now, the trend is clearly higher, and we don't really see any distribution taking place. Like I said, it's only 3 days of red candles so far, depending on today's closes, in 12 days. So that's really not much. It's a pretty good, pretty bullish ratio. What you kind of don't want to see is a vertical, price bar. You don't want to see the price do too many vertical price bars, because that's usually not sustainable. At some point, that will be retraced. So in a perfect world, you get a slow and steady trend. You could see when the trend was heading lower here, it was slow and steady for a while. And then it's the bathtub analogy. You pull the water seems to speed up. I don't know whether it does or it doesn't, but it appears to when it's getting close to being at the bottom. And boom, so does the selling.